Welcome everyone to another episode of The Fighter and the Analyst. I'm your host, GK The Fight Analyst, and we have a very special guest here on the podcast today with Titan FC flyweight contender, Christian Ynastrilla. How's it going, bro? Thank you for coming on the show with us on short notice.
No, I mean thank you, man, for the platform. I really appreciate you having me on the show. I always love seeing like the MMA community doing things like this. So I really appreciate your time too.
Absolutely, bro. Trying to get your name out there. Hopefully, we see you in the UFC really soon. I mean, like, let's before we get there, let's
Yeah.
bring it onto one of our sponsors, the main sponsor here, as you can see, Manscaped. Yeah, guys, you know how it is. It's summer out. Yeah, your junk's not really fresh right now, but if you head over to Manscaped, you have the best stuff to keep your junk feeling fresh and smelling great. So use promo code TFTA20. That's TFTA20 for 20% off and free shipping. Had to get that little tidbit out of the way, but man, I just want to say congratulations on an amazing performance last night on UFC Fight Pass. Man, that was a thing of beauty. Take us through how you got to that point, and how it went down in your head while you're in there fighting, man.
Yeah. Pretty much last night, I really wanted to display a little more of my striking, so I was a little disappointed in that. But I felt like the fight started off early. I felt like I was trying to work my jab, and I felt like he was trying to level change a little bit. I felt like I stuffed the first two level changes that he did, and I hit him with a good knee to the body, and one of those that he went for the takedown. I think it was the second time, and then I went southpaw on him, and then I hit him with a hard body kick that I know hurt him, and then I went to pull guard. Like kind of pull guard, he kind of like dove in. I kind of went for like the guillotine that we ended up on the ground. I went for it's called crackhead control. It's like a little thing in rubber guard that I like doing. So I went for
Yes.
that. Yeah, he pulled. He did a good job. He did a good job pulling out of it. He caught me a one little good punch on the ground and pound, and then I got him back again. He started extending his arm a little bit. I went to the arm bar. He was a real tough guy. I'll give him that. He didn't tap from the arm bar, so I saw him trying to sit up real hard. So I just baited him into it, and I caught him in the triangle, and yeah, put him away. The rest is history. So
Bro, bro, that was picture perfect. Like if you just write it in a book, they would tell you that's exactly how to do everything. The transitions were just flawless. I'm a huge rubber guard fan, so seeing you
yeah,
get to rubber guard and get to that point, I was just like ecstatic. I'm like, holy shit, yeah. But
yeah.
like once he took you down, I'm like, yep, it's a wrap. But like coming into this fight, it was a catch weight fight, and now he comes in over 8 pounds heavier than that. What was
Mm.
your mindset when you heard that he was missed weight by like a ton?
I was more angry than anything because we were like he took it on short notice. I'll give him that. But if he knew he wasn't gonna make 130, we could have just agreed to 135, so I didn't have to cut the weight regardless. I feel like that was a
Yeah,
tactic that he did because the entire time leading up to the fight, he kept talking about how he was gonna be a lot bigger than me on fight night and how he was gonna put it on me because he was just the bigger wrestler and just more. I was gonna be too much for me. So it really just pissed me off the other way, and I saw he was like the first one to weigh, and he weighed in before me, and he came in at 137, and he said he wasn't gonna try to cut anymore. So it had me angry, but I just kept my composure, and I knew that either way he was gonna have to get locked in a cage with me, and I knew that I know skills pay the bills, and I knew that's what I was gonna bring to the table for him. So
yeah. I mean, bro, that was good, and it got me riled up. I'm like, you know, you take these fights and you have to make weight. You're giving yourself. He gave himself a 10-pound advantage, which is just insane. I'm surprised they even let you fight, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
luckily they did, so you
yeah,
showcase your skills,
of
from
course.
there. But what's the next step here? I mean, are you looking to get that call like on the Contender Series, or are you looking to get that belt first from Titan and then get to the UFC?
That was something I was talking with my coach yesterday, Roger Crawl. We were kind of, we talked a little bit, not too much, but we kind of talked about it's either going to be a title shot for Titan FC or, sit back and maybe see if Dana White's Contender Series gives a call, So right now it's either option. Ideally, in a perfect world for me, I'd like to win the Titan FC title first and then maybe take that step up. I really like since I started watching MMA, I always watched Titan FC. I remember when Tim Elliott was the flyweight champion, and then Jose Shorty Torres, who's a teammate of mine, and then Juan Puerta, who's another teammate of mine, win the title. So it mean a lot to me to win that title. But whatever happens, happens. I'm really up for whatever. I just want to stay active. That I think is my main priority. I really want to get 3 or 4 fights this year. Like if that's possible. I always want to stay active because I think that's the most important thing, especially in this game. I think if you're one of those guys that's fighting once a year, twice a year, like it's hard to get your name out there. I think when you're having performances 3, 4 times a year, that's how you get your name out there, and that's my plan every time. I just want to be active.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, and finishes, and that's what you do.
Yeah,
You're a finisher, so that puts your name out there on the map. You're going in there, getting the finish, especially early finishes. Dana
yeah.
loves that. Everybody loves that, and you're definitely putting yourself on the map there, man. I'm very very impressed. Like I said, I've been following you since you were 0-0, fighting down here in Homestead on that
I
Bellator
appreciate that,
card.
man. Yeah,
So yeah, so it's great to see where where you are now, 6-1. What, like 2 years later? That's
yeah, bro.
great. That's a great record,
Yeah,
and
I really just try
you're
to
on the
stay
up and
active.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's a lot of other fighters aren't able to do that, and like you said, they're not either in the limelight when they're trying to get fights, or they have to get to the point where you have to talk shit in order to get fights. For someone like you want to fight, 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 and that's how you get fights. Yeah.
yeah. I'm never looking. Yeah, I just want to get in there and do my business. I really feel like I'm one of the most technical flyweights out there, and I think fight by fight, I'm gonna prove that. I feel like whether it's on the feet, whether it's in my wrestling, whether it's in the grappling, I really feel like I'm one of the most well-rounded guys, and I feel like fight by fight, I'm gonna prove that.
I completely agree with you. I mean, you look great on the feet for however long it was there. Very very impressive, and then obviously the ground game was just on point. But yeah, let's get down to breaking some fights. That's what
Let's
you're
do
you
it.
know you're here for, to help us
Yeah,
make some money. We definitely need that fighter's edge in here,
yeah.
and that's what I like to bring to the table into this podcast. Um, so yeah, let's start in the preliminary card. I believe the first fight on the night is a featherweight fight between Jordan Griffin and Yusuf Zalal. Right now, Zalal is a -120 favorite, and the comeback on Jordan Griffin is a +105 underdog. Do you know much about these two, and do you have a side?
These are two names that I really haven't heard of, if I'm being honest with you. So I really don't. Those are two names that I really haven't heard of.
Okay, so let me jump in there. I'll break it down. This is what I'm seeing. I see a lot of people betting on Zalal. He looked good in his UFC debut against Austin Lingo. Came in there and absolutely dominated for the entire 15 minutes on his bike, using his length, his reach, and just staying on the outside, and then using the level changes of the wrestling to keep Lingo at bay, who just was a step behind Zalal the entire fight. Didn't know how to cut off angles. Dude was just a brawler, not really an MMA fighter. So I don't really take too much into the account there. But everyone's taking into account that Jordan Griffin's fight IQ is just not good, and rightfully so. It's really not, but he's an opportunistic fighter, kind of like a Brian Kelleher. And I was saying that on another podcast. Brian Kelleher is very opportunistic, and if you give him an inch, he will take it and he will put you away. Same thing with Griffin. If you give him your neck, he's putting you away, and that's why I saw Zalal do against Lingo. He got him in the guillotine. Granted, it was half guard, but Griffin just finished T.J. Brown, who's a much better wrestler than Zalal, in half guard by guillotine. I just think Griffin's fought the far, far better competition. His last 3 losses were close losses to Dan Ige and Chad Skelly, both where he won at least the first or second round. So going into the third, it was a close fight. And then his loss before that was against Juan Archuleta. So top tier competition, and I don't think Zalal is on that level. I'm taking plus money, Jordan Griffin. He's one of my dog plays on the card, and I'm betting him, and that's my pick. That's up. So next up in I would say the welterweight division, we have a fight between Takashi Sato and Jason Witt, I believe, now on short notice because Ramiz Brahimaj, his corner, one of his cornermen, tested positive for COVID, so they just scratched him. I believe Takashi Sato is a minus 250 favorite, and comeback on Wit is a plus 220 underdog. Do you know much about Sato or Wit in this fight?
Nah, man, damn. I usually pride myself on my UFC encyclopedia, but yeah, no, yeah, these names, yeah, no, I haven't heard of these guys either.
Uh, yeah, this is a tough fight. I'm staying far clear away from it. It's just Sato has been training down here in Sanford MMA with Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman, the whole nine. Great
Yeah.
camp behind him. His striking is good. He's a judo black belt.
Oh shit, yeah.
Jason Witt trains in Glory MMA with James Krause and Grant Dawson. So he definitely has a really good wrestling background. He's
Mm.
been one of the top prospects coming out in the welterweight division. So I've kind of heard of him. I think he's like 16-4,
Oh shit,
16-5.
direct.
So tough fight. I really don't want any part. I don't want to take Sato as a minus 250 favorite, and I don't want the dog money on Witt either. So it's a pass. I don't want anything to do with this fight. Next up in the women's strawweight division, we have a fight between Kay Hansen and Jinyu Fry. Right now, Hansen is a minus 165 favorite, and the comeback on Fry is a plus 145 underdog. I'm pretty sure you're not going to know much about these two women because they're both debut fighters, but do you know much about either one of them?
Nope, definitely not. I think you read my mind on that one.
Yeah, most people really don't. I kind of had to dig
Yeah.
deep into this fight. Both are Invicta fighters. Fry was the atom weight division champion. Defended it, I think, about once or twice. She looked good, but she's a very, very small girl. Kay
Yeah, especially
Hansen
coming
used
from
to,
Adam Way.
yeah, and then Kay Hansen used to fight at 125, and now she's down to 115. So I think she's going to have a massive
Size
size
advantage, yeah.
advantage. Yeah. And she's a really good grappler as well, from what I've seen. She was picking girls at 125 up and slamming them down. So I think
All right, and especially a
she's
girl
just
coming
gonna.
out from Adam Way, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking as well. And from what I've seen, Fry's a really good counter puncher. She's good on her feet, but she lets her opponents dictate the pace of the fight. Lets her opponents push her back against the cage, and that's just Hansen all day. I think she has a cardio. She has a grappling. She's a 10th planet purple belt.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope, yeah.
So I think she's just gonna grapple her way to a victory against a much smaller girl. And I got Kay Hansen. She's one of my bets on the night, and I like her to win minus 165. All right, next up in the heavyweight division, we have a fight between Felipe Lins and Tanner Boser. Boser is a minus 115 favorite, and the comeback on Lins is a minus 105 pick'em fight here. Do you have much going on in this fight, in this heavyweight fight?
Philip Lenz is actually someone that at Coconut Creek I've been seeing him sometimes, and I really feel like he learned a lot from that UFC debut against. Well, not, I don't know if it was a debut or not when he fought Arlovsky.
It was.
But
Yeah, it was.
yeah, okay, yeah. I really feel like he's a lot better than that, at least from what I see from him in the gym and things like that. And I really feel like he's gonna come back in this fight and get the W. I think maybe by decision.
I
That would
I
be
do
my
like
bet.
that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do like that a lot. I think there's a lot of hype surrounding Bozer.
yeah,
It's not good when you look good in a loss instead of in a win. So because
yeah,
everybody's looking at how well he did against Cyril Gane in a loss versus how well he fought in the previous fight. So I just think he should be better. He's the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's fought some better
exactly. Yeah,
competition,
yeah,
you know. Um, and from what I've seen, Bozer actually lost 15 pounds of muscle for this fight to be lighter on the feet. And I think that's going to be a detriment to this fight, especially if Lynn starts to grapple and get up on the cage with him and just grind him. And I think he's really going to do that. And I think he's light years better when he gets to the mat. So yeah, I'm
yeah.
all over Lynn's as well. I would play him, I would bet him, and he's definitely I got him winning. So next up in the lightweight division, we have a fight between Luis Pena and Kama Worthy. Right now, Pena is a minus 230 favorite, and the comeback on Kama Worthy is a plus 190 underdog. Do you think this dog barks tonight, or do you think Pena is going to come in there and win?
Man, I really think Pena's gonna come in there and win. I've been following him since he was in AKA, and now he's also another guy training at American Top Team. He's been working with like guys like Masvidal and stuff like that. And I think he's a really flashy striker. He has a lot of tools on his feet, and I think he also has like a pretty well-rounded like scrambling game on the ground. I think he's gonna be a little too much for Worthy. I think especially on the feet, he's a very good striker. He's also really long for the division. I really got Pena winning that one.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I see a lot of people taking Worthy, puncher's chance, and people are
Yeah,
fading Pena because they don't think he's as good because he's just beating, Steven Peterson and other, basically fights that they're giving him to win.
yeah,
But he's really not that bad. I mean, he's very well rounded. He's very very long for the division, very very tall for the
yeah,
division. Kama Worthy used to fight at 145, so he's not particularly big either. He doesn't have great ground game, and anybody good that he's faced, he's lost to everybody.
yeah.
So I mean, he's not facing great regional scene fighters, and from an interview that I saw, he said his gym, he owns his own gym in Pittsburgh. His own gym just opened up a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, so he's
So
definitely probably not even getting that much work in too. That could be a problem. Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. And Pena's been working with Dustin Poirier for his fight
And
against Hooker,
Masvidal too, yeah.
for the last couple months. So he's been there training his ass off. So
Yeah.
I
You
think
can
there's
only
gonna be
you
a
can only
massive
get better with
difference.
those guys, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think, like you said, he's training at ATT. He owns his own gym, so he's not getting the quality training partners that Pena is getting.
Exactly, yeah.
Different. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
just
yeah,
think that's one of those things that American Top Team, they're always bringing in new talents. You're always getting like new guys that you've never seen before that are high level, whether it be in wrestling, grappling, striking. It's always something there that like iron just sharpens iron over there. And I think Pena's gonna show that tonight.
that's crazy though, like how they're able to just bring in anybody
Yeah.
from anywhere, any type of background, whether it's jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking. They're bringing world-class boxers. They're bringing Olympic medal wrestlers. They'll bring in anybody just to get you ready for your fight. That's insane.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
But yeah, so next up in the, I want to say no, it's a catchweight fight between Sean Woodson and Julian Erosa. Woodson is the biggest favorite on the card, minus 440, Jesus. And the comeback on Juicy J Erosa is plus 350. Do you know much about either one of these fighters, and do you have a side?
Yeah, I remember Julian Erosa from the Ultimate Fighter with McGregor and Faber. And then Sean Woodson, I saw him when he fought Bochniak. I think that was one of his last fights, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm a real fan of the way that Woodson fight. I think he's probably one of the longest featherweights I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I really think that Woodson's probably gonna go in there and take it. I think he's a little too clean for Rosa. I think he's probably gonna be able to pick him apart on the feet and use his length to get a victory. I think.
yeah. I'm yes. I think he probably finishes Woodson if we're being honest. I mean, Rose has been finished on numerous occasions here,
Yeah.
so I can't see anybody in their right mind, taking a Rose in this spot on short notice,
Yeah.
like 48 hours is just yeah.
Oh shit! Then
I
that's
don't.
short notice. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. He basically just got the call like a couple days ago because
Oh yeah, that's
I
rough.
forgot who Kyle Nelson wasn't able to make it due to visa issues. That would have been great.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm
But
super high on Woodson. Ever since I saw him fight
yeah,
Bochniak, just how long he was and how well he knew how to like maintain the range and stuff. It was really high level stuff.
agreed. And I didn't know, like I saw in an interview that he's actually a 49-6 amateur boxer. He was gonna
Oh
go pro.
yeah.
Yeah, he was gonna go pro at 18, but got a bad car accident, so it kind of derailed his boxing career. But now here he is in MMA. Trains at a good
Yeah.
camp too.
Well,
Trains with
where does he train at?
Glory MMA with James Krause and
Oh
company.
shit. Yeah. Yeah, those high level guys over there too.
Yeah, great camp. But yeah, definitely Woodson. He's pretty much parlayable on every single
Yeah.
parlay you got. Just throw him in there. I think he's absolutely a lock. There's no way he's losing this. Uh, Next up in the heavyweight division, we have a fight between Maurice Green and Jean Vellante. Right now, Green is a minus 230 favorite, and the comeback on Vellante is a plus 190 underdog. You got in this one?
Maurice Green, I really haven't heard of too much. Volante, I'm pretty familiar with. I've watched a lot of his fights at light heavyweight. I've heard there's some hype behind Maurice Green, but I think I'm gonna take Maurice Green, even though I don't know really too much about him. John Vellante has been finished multiple times at light heavyweight. I don't feel like his chin's the best. I don't feel like his defense is the best either. He's an exciting guy that likes to bang and brawl, and I don't think bringing that into heavyweight is gonna play into his favor when you're getting hit by bigger guys. So I see Maurice Green probably taking that fight.
110% agree, especially after I saw the weigh-ins. I mean, this guy is like he looks worse than Roy Nelson. That's how like his stomach is
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
like after, bro, that was bad.
yeah, bro.
Like,
Like I feel like he's about to rub the belly just like Roy Nelson right before the face off or something.
bro, he looked like he just came off the couch. It looked like he wasn't even training. He's like, I'm just gonna eat this slice of pizza and then let's go
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of I'm just fading him altogether. After sometimes it's good to bet on fights after the weigh-ins because you see stuff like that. That was
Exactly, yeah.
extremely bad. So yeah, I'm definitely all over Green. I don't even want to really break down this more because I just don't think Volante should probably be in the UFC anymore. And in that kind of shape, yeah, I'm gonna fade him all day. It's not even close. But yeah, next up is a pretty good fight between Brendan Allen and Kyle Dawkins in the middleweight division. Right now, Brendan Allen is a minus 310 favorite, and the comeback on Dawkins is a plus 260 underdog. You got anyone in this fight?
Those are two guys that I have not heard of. If I'm being honest with you guys, yeah, definitely those are not two guys that I've heard of.
No worries. It's a very interesting fight. Kyle Dawkins is 9-0. He's fought in the Contender Series. Didn't get the call, but he racked up two or three more wins after that, and now he got the short notice fight. Brendan Allen, I believe he was a LFA middleweight champion before getting the call for the Contender Series. Then he dominated there, got the call, and then he went 2-0 against pretty good competition. Kevin Holland, he tapped out, and then he tapped out Tom Breeze in the first no TKO Tom Breeze in the first round,
Oh,
and
why?
then
Tom Breeze, one of my favorite middleweights too. That's a
he
good win to have on your resume.
very good wins. I mean, then he fought guys on the radio scene like Eric Anders and Anthony Hernandez. He's fought some high level competition. Trevin
That's good.
Giles as well.
That's nice, yeah.
So very high level. Kyle Dawkins really hasn't been literally anybody on the level of Allen. Not nowhere near it. Allen's probably the second biggest fighter he's fought in his entire career. His last four fights were against basically welterweights that blew up and fought at middleweight for about a couple fights. But those last four guys all were welterweight fighters in majority of their careers. So all of them are completely smaller than him. He's finally fighting a guy his size. I don't think he's gonna manhandle and use his brute strength like a lot of people think he's gonna do and get the upset. So I definitely got Allen here. I think he's got a big brother him. It's a massive step down in competition, and this would arguably be the worst loss in Allen's career if he were to lose to Dawkins on a week notice. Mainly because he was about to fight Ian Heinisch, and he would have got a number next to his name. So
Yeah.
now, if he loses to a debuting fighter on a week notice, oh, it's gonna look horrible. And then there goes it's gonna be a really big hit to his career. So,
Yeah.
all right. So next up in the main event of the evening, we have a fight between Mike Perry and Mickey Gall in the welterweight division. Right now, Mike Perry is a minus 320 favorite, and the comeback on Mickey Gall is a plus 260 underdog. Does Mike Perry have a chance, even though he does not have, an actual corner behind him?
That is crazy that you're saying that Mike Perry is the favorite. But I don't really. The only thing I see Mike Perry having is a puncher's chance. I think other than that, I think Mickey Gall, his striking is improving. I know he's working with Joe Schilling and guys like that, and I just think his ground game is going to be too much for Perry. I think Perry's really in the wrong headspace right now. Perry's a very talented fighter. I don't know what decisions he's really making right now. He was training at Fusion XL and he just left Fusion XL and he's kind of doing his own thing, and I don't see that working well, especially with an up and coming guy like Mickey Gall. I really think Mickey Gall's going to get the job done by submission in the first or second round.
Damn, that's a big take because I feel like Mickey Gall's jiu-jitsu is quite overhyped. you know, because I mean, I don't think he's a. I'm pretty sure he's not even a brown belt, if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
he is a brown belt. Yeah, he's a brown belt.
He
I'm
is.
pretty sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty positive. Yeah, yeah.
okay, so maybe I was wrong then. Okay, so maybe it's a lot better than I thought. But we're talking about the same Mickey Gall that got beat to shit by a 2019 Diego Sanchez.
That's true too.
Diego
But yeah,
Sanchez. You know, I
yeah.
mean, like, and if we look who Perry fought, Perry just fought Jeff Neal, got knocked out. I'm not even mad about that because Jeff Neal, I think, is going to be a contender within the next year or year and a half.
Yeah,
No
man,
one
he's a
wants to
stud.
fight.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah, no one
stud.
wants to fight him. And then he went to war with Vicente Luque in a fight where I think if he didn't break his nose, he would have won that fight.
Yeah, I actually
You know
had
what I
him
mean?
winning the fight. I actually don't think Luke
Yeah.
won that fight, even with the broken nose. I think he still.
And then you can you can list the opponents that he's faced: Donald Cowboy Cerrone, Santiago Ponzinibbio, Alan Jouban in his UFC debut. So the list goes on, and then you have Mickey Gall. He's beaten CM Punk and Mike Jackson.
Yeah,
You know, it's
that's
just.
not the most impressive resume, but
I mean, but you could be right. Maybe the headspace is not really there for Mike Perry, but I've heard him in an interview say that he would literally tell his corner to shut the fuck up during the fights because he just doesn't listen to them to begin with. They're yelling at him to do things, and he just does his own thing. He goes in there and fights his fight. You know, he's just gonna go in there and try to knock your head off. And
yeah.
you know, if you've seen in the Cowboy Cerrone fight, I'm pretty sure they did not say to him to take down Cowboy at all.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I definitely don't think.
So
To me,
like,
the frustrating thing about Perry is like when he was training at Greg Jackson's and he was training at Fusion XL, we were really seeing like some progress in his game.
mhm,
But I really feel like with I don't know how long it's been that he's left Fusion. I believe it's been months on months, and I really feel like you could take some step backwards in your career as far as even in your skill level, like how sharp you are and things like that. If you're not working with high level partners every day and things like that, I really feel like that really brings your game down. Like I know Perry's faced some tough competition. And he was training with some great guys, but I think now these decisions that he's making, I think it's gonna really come back to bite him. I think his cardio is not going to be where it's at either. I think we might see him fade really early. Because honestly, what I see Mike Perry probably trying to do is come out hard and come out fast early and
yeah,
try to get Mickey Gall out of there. And I don't think if he gets that done, I do think Mickey Gall is going to start dragging him a little bit into later water, you know? But
that makes
Perry's a
sense.
good
That
guy.
makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Like Perry's a good guy, but I just think right now these decisions that he's made, they're really going to come back to bite him, honestly. Honestly. So. My bet's Mickey Gall, but if Perry wins, I
No,
wouldn't
no,
be
no, no.
surprised either. But I'm either going Mickey
I
Gall.
mean, no, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Not having the right training partners does a lot. It does a lot.
yeah,
You're not getting in the work. You're not preparing correctly. So I wouldn't put it past Mickey Gall, and he's really not. He seems composed for the first time in a while. I don't think
yeah.
he doesn't look anxious in there. At the weigh-ins and stuff like that. He just looks composed, ready to go, ready to rock. Maybe he's made a ton of improvements since then. I don't. We
I think
will
that's another
see.
thing to take into consideration is just how young Mickey Gall is in his UFC career. So like the improvements we're gonna be seeing from Mickey Gall fight to fight are gonna be very, very big. And I feel like someone like Perry, we probably saw the best days I think behind us just from the simple fact of the decisions that he's making. Because I find it very hard to see how he can improve on his jiu-jitsu, on his wrestling, on his striking, working on his own. I really don't see him improving on any of the holes in his game or sharpening up tools that he has by not working with anybody. So
Yeah, it's pretty much plateauing at that point because
yeah,
there's
exactly,
no you can't go up because you're not learning, you're not getting better, so you're just kind of
exactly.
staying stagnant. And like you said, Mickey's been putting in the work, so I guess we will see come fight time.
Yeah,
And now it's up the main event of the evening. Great fight, one I've
yeah.
been looking forward to for months now. Fight between Dan the Hangman Hooker and Dustin the Diamond Poirier in the lightweight division. Number 3 versus number 5. Right now, Poirier is a minus 225 favorite, and the comeback on Dan Hooker is a plus 185 underdog. Should Dan Hooker be this sizable of an underdog to Dustin Poirier?
I definitely don't think he should be such an underdog. I'm really a fan of both guys. I do have Dustin Poirier winning. I do believe that Dustin Poirier, he has a little more experience in fighting these 5 round fights. Dan Hooker's only, I believe his only 5 round fight was against when he fought Paul Felder, and I felt like in the later rounds he started fading a little bit. He started looking a lot for the takedown, which was good. But I don't think with a guy like Poirier, you want to be trying to take him. I do believe Poirier is the better grappler. I believe he's gonna have the better gas tank. I think Poirier hits harder than Hooker. I think Hooker, he has some sneaky knees and kicks that I think Poirier might have to watch out for. But I believe overall the more well-rounded mixed martial artist is Poirier. So I'm probably leaning a little bit towards Poirier.
It makes sense. I mean, I just don't think the line should be as wide as it is. I think it should be like
Yeah,
maybe
no, no, yeah. I think it should
minus
be closer,
140.
yeah.
Yeah, I just and that's kind of the reason why I am taking Dan Hooker in this. Just he's been on a hot streak. He's faced some good competition. He's beaten some good competition.
Yeah.
I know he looked bad in the loss to Barboza. He looked like he kind of faded in the fight with Felder. But I mean, you're giving me close to 2-1 odds on a guy that's streaking. He's number 5. Poirier's coming off a loss against like arguably the worst loss kind of in his career. Granted, because of the fact that he worked his ass off to finally get to that point, and then it ended like that. So it's kind of
Yeah.
really heartbreaking and demoralizing at that point. But and then he also has surgery right after for his
On his
shoulder.
hip,
So
yeah.
yeah, or his hip, right? Hip.
Yeah, his hip, yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I know it's a year later, but we don't. I don't know. There's
Yeah.
a lot of variables there. So I just like the dog price on Dan Hooker. I do like the over 2.5 rounds. I think it's gonna go, rounds 3, 4, possibly 5. Maybe even decision, but I definitely love over 2.5 rounds in this fight, and I'm just taking dog money on Hooker. But I would not be surprised Poirier wins. This is just a lose-lose fight for him. If he wins, he's not going to get an immediate title shot. But if he loses, he's going to lose a lot because then now he's got to take like 10 steps forward before he finally gets another title shot, which kind of sucks. So if only he was fighting, 2 or 1 in the division, but he should be fighting, waiting for Tony Ferguson, in my opinion. But
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I just wonder how much damage Ferguson took because I know it's something about a broken orbital and stuff. So I wonder when he's going to be able to get back into action. I would love to see
I
a fight
know.
between him and Poirier. That'd be a good fight.
That would be that would just be an all-out war. I
Yeah.
don't. That would be
A
insane.
1000%, yeah.
That would
That'd
be
be like a
absolutely
great
insane.
main event, yeah. That'd be a great main event like on any
Absolutely,
fight night or a pay-per-view. Yeah, that'd be a great fight.
man. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this thing. Yeah, great time. I appreciate you coming on, man. It was great having you here, and I hope to have you on again with us very soon. But before we go, do you want to let people know where to find you on social media so you can blast that out and get some more followers out there, man?
Yeah, yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram. My name is Christian. It's with a CH underscore Y28. And yeah, that's where you can find me on Instagram. That's probably like the main social media that I use. So if you guys want to give me a follow there and check out my MMA journey, I'm working my way up slowly but surely. And yeah, I really appreciate it. I think I'm an exciting fighter and I want to just keep putting on exciting fights for everybody. So that's always the plan that I have when I go into the cage.
Absolutely, man. And that's, I'm here to help you, build your following and help you, get your name and your game out there for the masses to see. This kid is a real deal, super exciting fighter. Just finished his last fight. He's 6-1. He's on the up and up, about to get that Titan FC title and eventually get to the UFC. So, yeah. But with that said, you guys can, always find me at Fight Analyst on Twitter, The Fight Analyst on Facebook and Instagram. And guys, head over to thefightanalyst.com to get my package today, to get all this money. We're about to cash out. We got a week off next week. Not sure if we're going to be here next week, but the week after we're back. We're in the swing of things. We're talking like 2 full months of fights. We got LFA, Contender Series, UFC, one championship. We got fights all day, which means there's money to be made. So with that said, we will see you guys on the flip side. You guys have a good one. Let's cash these bets. Adios.
Take care, guys.
Later.